Hello children, today is my session with grade 5 social studies lesson number 3, the temperature zones. In this we will study about weather, climate, factors that determines the climate, and the climate region of the world, human beings, how the human beings will impact the climate. So first we'll see what is weather and climate. In this, before going to the weather, we'll see what is atmosphere. Our earth is surrounded by a thick layer of air, is called atmosphere. That atmosphere changes, that condition of changing, that is called as weather and climate. So the condition within the atmosphere keep changing from time to time, that we can say weather and climate. Now we'll move on to the weather. What is weather? Weather describes whatever is happening outdoor in a particular place at a particular time. The weather may change from day to day or even from hour to hour. See, when you wake up early in the morning, today it is very cloudy. After an hour, it may be sunny. So that changes, we can say, weather. I think now you got what is the meaning of weather. Weather is a changing in atmosphere in a particular place at a particular time. It may be day to day or even from hour to hour. The changes happening may hour to hour. So that is called as weather in a particular place, not the whole country or world, only in a particular place. So that we can say weather. Now we'll move on to the climate. So the climate is an average weather condition of a place over a long period of time. The climate of a place remains more or less the same year after year. So in some area for an year it is very hot. In some area it is very cold throughout the year. So that we can say climate. So weather is a particular place at a particular time. Climate is a condition of a place over a long period of time. So that we can say climate. Different places in the world have a different type of climate. The climate of a place affects the people living there in many ways. The food, the dress, houses, occupation, and the way of life of the people are all connected with the climate of the place. So, one who are near to the mountain, they will be having a frigid, means very cold throughout the year, like that. So, their occupation is different, their dress is different. So the dress, the food we wear, the work we do, it depends upon the climate. Got it? So the meaning of the climate is the weather condition of a place over a long period of time. So that is called as climate. Now what is the factors that determines the climate? The climate varies from one place to another. Some places have a cold climate throughout the year, whereas some places are warm. Some places get heavy rainfall while some other are dry for a whole season. So these are the factors that affects the climate. So we'll move on to the next one, that is climatic regions of the world. Now we'll see what are the different climatic regions are there in our world. We can divide the earth into three climatic or heat zones on the basis of the difference in temperature and rainfall. So on the basis of the temperature and rainfall, they divided the earth into three climatic conditions. Three climatic conditions, we'll see what is that. The tropical zone, the temperate zone and the frigid zone. Now we'll study in detail about this. First we'll move on to the tropical zone. Yes, by seeing the picture only you can identify what is the meaning of tropical zone, right? We'll see the meaning now. The tropical zone lies on both the sides of the equator. This zone lies between the Tropic of Cancer in the north and Tropic of Capricorn in the south. In this zone, the climate is hot and humid throughout the year because of sun rays fall directly on this area. This region is also called torrid zone. So the sun rays are directly on this zone. So it will be very hot and humid throughout the year for a long. Throughout the year means over a year, over a period of time. So that is called as tropical zone. Tropical zone, or this climate is hot and humid. Now we'll move on to the temperate zone. What is temperate zone? Yes. The area lying between the torrid zone and the frigid zone in both the hemispheres are called the temperate zone. As this area is away from the equator, this is neither very hot nor very cold. It's between the hot and cold. This temperate zone is between the tropical zone and frigid zone. So it may be hot or it may be cold. Next we'll move on to the frigid zone. Yes, the frigid zone. By the name only you can say it is very cold, right? See the picture there? Yes. The area between the Arctic Circle and the North Pole in the northern hemisphere and between the Antarctic Circle in the South Pole is called frigid zone. The sun rays are slanting and are very weak. This area is very cold because it is far away from the equator. They are coldest places on the earth. In winter, sometimes the sun is not visible at all. The polar region are covered with snow and ice almost throughout the year. So in the frigid zone, the sun rays will be slanting, very weak. So we cannot see the sun sometimes there. So it is very cold and the polar region are covered with snow and ice almost throughout the year. It will be very cold. See the picture, polar bear is there and these penguins. So these areas are very cold area. So you can say Arctic Circle. You just have a glance of last class that equator, Tropic of Cancer, in that Arctic Circle is there. So there, that is the coldest place. In frigid zone it is. Okay. Now about these areas, means tropical zone, temperature zone and frigid zone, we will discuss in the next class which are the areas will come under this zone. Okay. Now we'll move on to the next one. How the human beings we affect the impact on means affects the climate. The climate is affected and get changed because of our activities. Sometimes it may be changed. The factors that we will study in this chapter affects the climate is naturally. However, we should know the humans also influence the climate, right? We influence on the climate. The climate, the climate is affected and get changed because of our activities. For example, we can say cutting down the trees. Trees take in carbon dioxide and produce the oxygen. When we cut the trees, oxygen, carbon dioxide will be around us only, right? So it will affect our health. If there is no fresh oxygen, means air, it will affect our body too, and it will affect the climate, right? And then that industries means factories. The factories cause the greenhouse effect, means the air which they produce, that gas, it will surrounded the earth, means I will say what is greenhouse effect. The carbon dioxide is a greenhouse gas. All such human activities are slowly causing the planets and grow warmer by the phenomenon that is called as greenhouse effect. It will cause the global warming. So what we have to do for this? We must find out the ways to reduce the human impacts on the climate. And the vehicles, air pollution which we do by the vehicles, that is also impact on climate. So what we can do? We should check our vehicles regularly, so that the smoke which come out from that vehicles will reduce, right? So next we'll see this. Just have a glance the impacts of climate change on human health also. So see the picture here. So what will happen when winter temperature will be there, warm temperature will be there? So what is the cause? And with the factories which we use, so what is the impact on us? The air produced by the factories will surrounded our particular place, right? So that smoke which we breathe will affect on us, right? It will may cause sickness, allergies, asthma, and all we will get. Yes. Now this is the end of this chapter. In next class we will discuss about this trophic of zones, means climatic conditions of the world, which part of the countries will come under which zone we will discuss in the next class. So this is the impact on climate. Thank you, children.